Hey everyone, welcome back to another tutorial with Sublime Swell. It's been a while, been busy with life and such, but I've had some time recently to get back into the game for a while, and so decided to make another tutorial on an important topic that a lot of new players don't understand when they first join. Now, before I start, I'd just like to say that you should have watched the first three tutorials before getting to this one. So if you jumped to this one, you may understand some of it, but I really encourage you to watch the first three tutorials. Most of them are about 15 minutes, so the first one I think is a little longer, like 20 minutes, but it really is worth it. It's going to make the game a lot more enjoyable, and you're going to be like, wow, there's a lot more to this game than it seems. Anyways, today we're talking about how to raid a forward base, or as people refer to it in the game, the forward base bust, FB bust. You'll see those missions advertised in the chat. Let's go ahead and log in here as a allied army. You'll see people advertise missions as FB busts, or you'll see need engineers for FB bust, or I always call it a forward base raid just because I think it sounds cooler. But yeah. What is a forward base raid? How do you put it together? Why is it important? What's the ideal way to do it? The safest way to do it? Because it is a risky operation. And just some general info on how to put this together. I think it'll be more tactical than anything else. So let's go. So let's see. You know what forward bases are already. Let's look for one owned by the enemy. Let's see if I can find one. Here's one at Alter. Alright, I'll zoom in. That's the forward base at Alter. The Germans control that, okay? And we want to attack it. So, first thing we need to do is get a unit to attack it. So we're going to join the unit in this town. Create a mission. Now, in the mission you want to choose the mission origin, usually as the army base. It doesn't have to be, but the army base has the most supply. And so you'll have the most engineers to be able to use. Most of the supply flows into the army base, so you want to use that. You want to make sure, and this is important because if you forget, it can create some problems. You want to make sure you click on the forward base and select that as the target, okay? Sometimes if you set it as a defensive mission, it won't let you build a mobile spawn if you go too far. So this is important. Select the forward base, make that your target, create mission. And you're going to drive out a truck, right? You're going to drive out a truck to lay a mobile spawn. So I'm just going to spawn, so you're going to choose the truck here. We'll spawn in. But really what I want to show you is forward base consists of two parts. There's always two parts. The infantry spawn, which I'll mark right here. Infantry in the blue, and I'll make the vehicle red. Okay. There are a series of tents. The way that you change the forward base to your ownership is you have to blow it up. So you take out a mobile spawn, place it, and move in engineers or riflemen, and place your HE charges on those tents. Okay. You want to hit the infantry spawn first because the infantry spawn takes longer to kill, has more HP to it, needs more charges, and the vehicle spawn is easier. Also, when you do destroy the infantry spawn, it gets kind of beat down and crumbled. The tents crumble, and you can see any infantry that spawns in to defend, so it's a lot easier. What's the most ideal way? Well, you want to have a tank come with you, at least one. And the way you want to do it is you want to set the tank up in a way that cuts off the exit of any spawning vehicles from the vehicle spawn. Let's say the enemy starts defending. They're going to roll out vehicle spawns out of this tent here. If you look, there's a flat side that's kind of straighter. That is the exit area. So the vehicles are going to come out. I don't know if you can see my cursor. Vehicles are going to come out this way. All right, they come out the flat end. The rear is kind of rounded. That's the flat end. That's where they're going to come out. Okay, there's no exit behind it. So you want to cut it off. So you possibly want to have a tank, I don't know. Maybe this will be right here. And it'll be tank cut. Okay, tank will set up right here. He'll have a direct side shot on anything rolling out. All right. And you'll be able to kill any threats, all right? Because usually when there's a defense at a forward base, the enemy will start spawning in reconnaissance cars, armored cars, tanks, you know, and try to come camp your mobile spawn. So you want to have a cutter. You cut the vehicle spawn with a tank. You can also do the same thing with the infantry, but it's a little more complicated because the infantry can exit the tents at many different points. But you know, you could set up machine guns. You could set up machine guns if you're really organized to cut off some of the major accesses, like so, to shoot down the accesses like this. Okay, so tactically that's how you want to do it. Usually I'll place the mobile spawn, you know, usually about 500 meters, 600 meters, 700 meters. You can go up to 800 meters. I'll just call it MS. Alright, we'll place the mobile spawn. And what you want to do is you want to move in with engineers, ideally with engineers. If you need to use riflemen, you can. You move in, you sneak in, you avoid contact. You don't want the enemy to know you're here. You don't want to create a ruckus and create a fight for yourself. So you're going to sneak in together. You're going to lay the mobile spawn with the truck, but you're going to keep the truck because you want to resupply it. So you keep your truck at the mobile spawn or hide it somewhere else in the bushes somewhere. Your infantry is going to move in and they're going to scout it out and maybe report, okay, no enemy here. Let's go and bust it. You tell all your guys, move into the infantry spawn and get ready to place all your charges all at once at the infantry spawn. You want everybody to start placing charges at once and not progressively, because you want to do as maximum damage in the shortest amount of time. So you just want to do a massive plop of HE charges and blow it up and then have the truck reload. Once the forward base is cleared and there's no resistance, you can drive the truck up to reload your engineers or riflemen and keep placing charges until everything's destroyed. Okay, now keep in mind, this is very important, the enemy can spawn in any kind of unit until both parts of the forward base have been destroyed. Okay, so it's not over till the whole entire thing is over. You need to kill the infantry spawn and then the vehicle spawn, and then it's going to become yours and the forward base will move closer to their town. Alright, like this forward base, for example, which is closer to their town. Alright, so that's a forward base bust. Really simple. I'm trying to think of anything else, and I think that's it. That's pretty much the basics, but it's important, obviously, because you need forward bases to attack new towns, and the more forward bases you have bearing on a town, the more supply you can bring in. So, there you go. Have fun.